What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we don't have a Supra on here, but I'm sure a lot of you car enthusiasts know exactly what this is. So this is Kelvin's new whip, the 2020 Porsche 718 GT4. I know mainly the Supra is the main focus of this channel, but Kelvin used to have a Supra and he's a little camera shy, but I'm going to talk you guys through like this car, the spec, the mods that he has done to it, and then just his feedback on the driving experience, and then of course my own. So you guys will see me drive the car, my first reactions later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. And then also there will of course be exhaust clips. So let's go over the specs of this particular GT4. So if you guys are wondering, this color is not Nardo gray. This is chalk gray, OEM color with BBS FIR wheels. So this does look very similar to the OEM wheels, but these are actually GT3 spec. So this is 20s all around. I don't know the exact offset, but just Google BBS FIR for GT3 spec, and this is what it'll look like if you are looking into the GT4. This does have the Porsche PCCBs, or the carbon ceramic brakes. The front, you guys will see with the B-roll, it does have the PDLS Plus lighting package, which, you know, gives it a lighter, nicer look. So if you guys didn't know, PDLS, main way to tell if a car has it is if it has the 4 little LED lights. And then with the PDLS Plus, this will actually turn whenever you turn the steering wheel. So it's pretty nice whenever you're, you know, driving around the twisties, or you're just want to be a little bit safer when driving around town. You have that. This car is actually a little bit lower. So if you guys are big like Porsche enthusiasts, or you keep up with Porsches in general, this is still on OEM suspension, but you can adjust it to be a little bit lower, a little bit higher, however you like. So Kelvin did get this lowered a little bit. So if you guys notice that, that's exactly why. If we look and round out the exterior, of course, Kelvin is a race car driver, so he's got the Gran Turismo banner on there. So if you guys know, you know. We'll go back out here towards the back. On the wing side, we'll kind of start from top down. On the wing, this is actually wrapped black. It's got the Porsche on the top. You guys will also see that in the B-roll. But if you guys didn't know, the wing risers are actually aftermarket. But for me, I do actually like them because they give it a more aggressive look, similar to the GT3s, the 991 GT3s. And then, I mean, the GT3s, I think in general, do sit a little bit higher compared to the GT4s. And then, of course, you guys will hear this. This is the Soul Performance exhaust. So Kelvin did do a different like electronic controller for the valves. So if you want it to be loud, then it'll be loud, especially whenever he's ringing it out. Sounds freaking amazing. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the rest of the video so you can hear what that sounds like outside and in the cabin. So that's pretty much it for the outside with the specs. So let's go to the inside, because I'm sure you guys are wondering about that. That's mainly talking portion for a lot of Porsches is the specs. In the interior, lots of Alcantara everywhere. You have the bucket seats with carbon backs, which is very, very nice with the yellow deviated stitching. Of course, this car is a 6-speed manual. Lots of Alcantara. So if you guys are not familiar with Porsches, everything is basically an option. You have the chrono display there in the middle, which you guys can see a little bit better with the B-roll. Alcantara wrapped steering wheel with the GT4 carbon door sills. And then of course you go take a look at the door cards. Alcantara here, where you can touch, basically a lot of the touch is either leather, carbon fiber, or Alcantara. Feels really nice. And of course, because you got a race car, you have a strap for the doors. And then of course you round out the interior. You can see that there is the OEM roll cage matched in yellow. The yellow is a little bit darker actually. It's like a mango yellow compared to the seat belts, but it makes it pop for sure, especially in this spec. And then you of course see you have the banana calipers, which matches the interior really, really nicely. So now we talked about the specs of this car, factory options. Let's go over the mods. So with Porsches, of course, this is an NA car, flat six. It's a little bit different than the B58s or just any turbocharged cars. So making power on this, you know, with like basically a pipe and a tune, you're not going to make like 500 wheel horsepower. But this car is all about, obviously, driver engagement. It's not for straight line speed. If you want straight line speed, then you're going to get a 911 turbo. Or if you got that money, GT2 RS. But basically what Kelvin's done to this car, of course, are the aftermarket wheels. This is, again, BBS. So BBS does make OEM wheels, but on this one, this is aftermarket. And then you have the Soul Performance exhaust, which sounds friggin' gnarly. So in addition to the exhaust, Kelvin did actually do the headers as well. So it gives them more of that extra oomph. And I'm telling you guys, if you ever have the chance to hear a GT4 or a Porsche with proper exhaust, please do it, because as expensive as the microphone that I'm going to be using to capture this sound for you guys that's watching the video, nothing beats the actual experience of hearing it in real life. So that's pretty much it for the mods. So now let's go over, so let's kind of walk and talk and go over Kelvin's experience with the car. So compared to the Supra, what Kelvin let me know is that getting into the GT4, of course, it's different. Like the items that you can touch, the tangible things, it's obviously higher quality, of course, with something in this price range, but just the overall feeling of the car. So what Kelvin let me know is that this is definitely feels way more sporty, way more direct, but it's not like as fast in the straight line with the throttle and everything. And he was telling me that he did have to take some time to learn the throttle positioning of this car, because with it being NA, you have to really ring it out. The red line on this car is 8,000 RPMs. One of the clips that you guys will hear later is getting to 8,000 RPMs, the red line, and it sounds amazing. But it doesn't feel lively in the way where it's like if you're expecting the turbo to hit or whatever, you don't feel the car really like hitting its stride until 6,000 RPM. So of course, with Porsches, they really want to be wrung out with their motors. Very, very lively. It's not as like more GT, because I would say the Supra is more a GT car, whereas this is a proper sports car. So everything is just an extra level. Kelvin also mentioned the bucket seats. It is kind of a hassle getting in and out of it, but once you're inside of the seats, it is pretty comfortable inside. It's got pretty good bolstering on the side, and then on the lower back, it is comfortable. So if you guys are wondering about that, how that experience is like, there you go. But yeah, I mean, Kelvin's super happy with it. He does have sentimental value with this Supra. And if you guys are wondering, you know, if you go to a P car, if you're going to forget about the Supra, Kelvin, from him personally, he said he'll probably pick up another Supra because he's so happy with this car, but he does miss the Supra. It just ticks different boxes. So they're not really like one-to-one comparison, because Porsche's sports cars are more focus, more direct compared to what what Toyota and BMW is able to make. Because we think about it, as much as I love the Supra is a Z4 at the end of the day, and a Z4 is not going against a chassis like this. But yeah, so that's Kelvin's experience with it. Kelvin would definitely recommend if you have a Supra and then you're wanting to upgrade, if you were thinking about the GT4, if that's on your short list of cars that you want to buy, he would definitely recommend it. The only con he would say is the gearing. So he did mention to me that in second gear, you can actually hit almost 100 miles per hour. It's just a little bit too long. But yeah, super happy for Kelvin. Kelvin, again, thank you for letting me shoot this car. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely stay tuned for the driving portion and just kind of my thoughts about driving the car. And then, yeah, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Give Kelvin a follow on Instagram. Instagram is on your screen for Kelvin, and you guys will see what he does with this. He's got a lot of other stuff planned, maybe not just for this car, but other cars. You guys maybe will see his next mod center caps on the channel. But yeah, so thank you guys again, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. The CCBs, bro. Oh yeah, it's like it's very direct. Like short shift, it just like notches right in there. Yeah, I can tell. Like, I mean, the Supra is better than. I mean, I haven't driven like a manual M2 or BMW M car, but every BMW enthusiast says that the Supra, even though it's BMW unit, Toyota did make some modifications to it. But from the get-go, I can tell this is already better. Oh man! So once you get it into the gear, it just feels so much better. Like it's just more engaging. So first thoughts, just driving the car. There's a reason why. This is my first Porsche manual car that I've driven. You definitely feel it from the get-go. Kind of like what I was saying earlier with just the notchiness and just the throw of the shifter. If you guys get a chance, definitely drive a manual P car, because I know in my previous videos I mentioned how much I love the S2000 feeling. This reminds me of that. I would say definitely like top tier manuals that I personally have driven are Hondas and of course the Porsche. So of course I want to drive more cars, more manual cars to get an idea of the shifter, but this is definitely top tier. So far so good. Definitely more clips of me driving this car, but Kelvin, I'm happy for you, man. You're definitely living the dream. So I'm excited to see what you do with this car, and hopefully you do get another P car and we can do a video on that. So stay tuned for more, and we'll insert some exhaust clips so you guys can enjoy that with a nice microphone.